All right, we're live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the last debate of the day. It's been a pretty long day for everyone, so thank you to everyone who has tuned in for every debate so far. We're going to be having the School of Business reps right now, which are Nori and Zhenxuan. Before I get into introducing them, I'll just go very quickly over the format that we'll be having today. So we'll be having a 2-minute intro, which is right now, and then we'll be moving into a 5 to 7 minutes opening statement from both of the candidates, where they'll be addressing the main points of their manifesto and whatnot. Following that, we'll be going into a Q&A session from the office bearers. So we've got a couple of the office bearers scheduled to come on, so that'll be quite interesting. And following that, we'll be taking we'll be taking more questions from the students. So you viewers, just feel free to leave whatever questions you like, and we'll answer We'll answer your questions once the office bearers are done with their set of questions. And finally, we'll be moving on to our closing statement. So with that in mind, I would like to introduce our SOB candidates, Zhenxuan and Nori. You guys can start whenever you want.
Okay. So very good evening to our fellow Manasians. Hi, I'm Nori, but you can call me Riri.
Hi, I'm Zhenxuan, but you can call me Queenie.
So we are both the candidates running for School of Business Representative from Ad Circumensum. Being subcommittees and heads from current departments and clubs, we are both confident that we are capable and fit for the nominated position. We want to represent students with integrity and fairness. We strongly believe that the voices of students are essential in improving a conducive learning environment whereby students are able to address their concerns more openly. And with that, we strive for a better sense of communications between the students. Therefore, our motto is that everyone deserves to be heard.
Our mission is to ensure that students' voices are being heard and taken care of sincerely. Most students have genuine feedbacks and constructive concern, but they are just too shy or afraid to voice them out. Therefore, we aim to be the safe medium of communication where students are encouraged to communicate with us, and this allows us to identify the problems students are facing, and we could act accordingly to solve it. We would never neglect students' voices, as we would not want our voices to be ignored as well. We envision that the students' learning environment would be improved constantly for the greater good of the students by acting as the bridge between students and the school. We know that the absence of communication would not benefit any party, therefore we would want to pick up the role ourselves.
Therefore, our manifesto is mainly focused on improvement for 2021. Firstly, we realize that biasness and discrimination are highly visible in our classroom. We as students understand that the feeling of unfairness and how it feels like to be treated differently from our peers or tutors due to our different nationality or races. This is a very serious issue as it negatively affects the student learning environment and induces low self-esteem among students, and it could ultimately shatter students' mental health and negatively impact the student grades as well. For example, a few of our friends are actually being discriminated against a tutor, and in result, they failed their unit and were forced to retake it again. However, never had the gut to express their concern as they fear of being judged. Therefore, our job is to make sure that the fear is gone. Therefore, as SOB reps, our first step that we will look into the situation by contacting and communicating with the students to understand the situation thoroughly. The information will be collected through Google Forms where their identity will be kept confidential with us. We will report the issue to SSLC and host a meeting with the lecturer to solve the issue. We will also post questions on our SOB Instagram story, which would act as a confession page which allows students to share their experiences. Furthermore, we would also create posters on SOB social media page to promote the feedback form and spread awareness. Besides that, our second goal is to promote and enhance the development of soft skill among students. As we all know, most of the students are highly resulted and study oriented, which is fantastic. However, many students tend to neglect the importance of soft skills. And since most job requires teamwork, it's important to possess soft skills to enhance your employability and achieve your dream job. For instance, there have been some cases whereby students have come up to us and described how they failed during interviews or how they are simply having a tough time trying to make new friends. Therefore, the first step on overcoming this issue, we as SOB reps are going to encourage students to join more clubs. This will be done during orientation week, whereby we will create a presentation slide and provide a mini pamphlet where students can read up on the importance of soft skills and how this can be developed to joining more clubs. Besides that, we will also post quotes from previous Monash alumni who will describe their past experiences of joining clubs in Monash University and how it has positively impacted their social skills.
Other than that, we will want to put our focus on improving and enhancing the students' e-learning experience. E-learning would be present with or without the COVID-19 pandemic, while Moodle would be used frequently throughout the semester. However, Moodle is not very user-friendly due to its different layout and messy interface. Moreover, we do not know if the current situation will prolong until next year. Thus, upgrades and adjustments are deemed necessary. Moodle's messy layout and inconsistent lecture videos confuses students, which would be adding weight to their heavy study load. Study materials might be hard to allocate in Moodle as it is scattering all around Moodle. We would generate a feedback system that allows students to give us their feedbacks on their Moodle experience and suggest ways to improve Moodle throughout the semester. A survey among students will be held to choose the best layout, which then we would approach SSLC and have a meeting with the lecturers to fix on one uniform layout for Moodle before the commencement of a new semester. Furthermore, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, current Year 1 Semester 1 students in 2020 are forced to embark on e-learning without having any physical class or physical orientation, not to mention on-campus events prepared for students to get to know friends. This is quite terrifying and harsh speaking from experience, as some students might face difficulties in making friends online. This has resulted in an extremely low engagement and low sense of belonging to the school among students. So the gap between the school and the students have been descending day by day. Students are not familiar with MUSA, or some might even not notice its presence. Students' mental health might be on stakes as they might face depression or anxiety as they feel very isolated. This would then affect the students' learning as productivity is lowered tremendously and stress level might be unbearable. Therefore, support and encouragement from lecturers are crucial to boost interaction and class engagement. An ice-breaking event should be held on week 1 for students to make friends in their tutorial class, while lecturers should also introduce themselves to the class properly. Post-orientation activities such as team treasure hunt would be held to facilitate interaction and engagement among students, while inter-school events such as mingle night and team building would be held in week 2 or week 3 to help students to make more friends. That is all from us now. Thank you for listening, and please feel free to ask us any question.
All right. Thank you for your points, guys. Now I would like to introduce the current office bearers, who are Renee and Nelson. What do you guys have to go and say about their policies so far?
All right. Thanks, Tristan. So I was lagging out a little bit, so I'll let Nelson go first. Nelson, you're muted.
Sorry. Okay, actually, quite good to explain about the motive behind, but I actually still want to ask you guys, what motivated you to choose this portfolio? What is the one most important job as the new SOB representative, and how will you executive, how will you take action on it, and then what's your plan about it?
Right, I will take that question. So Nelson, your question would be, what is the most important task for SOB representative? And in my point of view, the most important task for me is to be the voice of the students. As we mentioned just now, some of our friends are being discriminated at the moment, but they just are too afraid to voice out. Therefore, we need to be the medium of their communication, which we will be the middleman, which convey their message through the management, and we will solve problems such as discrimination, and we will ensure that their students' voices are being heard. And on how would we address this task is that me and Nori, we would have held various feedbacks platform, as well as we will open a communication platform with the current School of Business students, which allows them to input us on any questions, concerns, or doubt, or just have us as their friends to speak through, because we understand that sometimes in uni we need friends to talk to. And after that, we would filter off their concerns and feedback, and me and Nori would discuss within the team on ways to solve the problem. And we would try our best to solve it internally. If not, we would just bring up to SSLC and try to solve with other lecturers as well. I think my answer answers your question, Nelson.
Okay, that actually quite a good answer. So let's make this scenario. How will you respond if students doesn't agree with the idea or the outcome from what you discussed with the lectures and stuff? So what do you think that what action will you take to overseas or like to deal with the students that they already raised some question and doubts about the outcome of the discussion? Can you like give examples? How will you like try to deal with those students?
Are you saying that the students might be unsatisfied with the outcome of the
Yeah,
meeting?
yeah,
Is it?
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Like
So in
most of the students that agree with the outcome. But let's say some
yeah,
of students feel like they doesn't like the outcome of it. So how will you deal with some of the students? You may give examples to like try to answer that question.
Okay.
all right.
Can I answer this? Is that okay? Yeah. So if someone disagree with our suggestions, we would first of all listen and try to understand in their point of view why do they disagree, and we will try to come into a conclusion and try to be on the same side. Um, um,
Nori, are you lagging off? Yeah, it's all right then.
no, oh, sorry. So I think my internet. Can you go on? Let me just.
Yep.
Sorry.
All right then. I think I'll answer on behalf of Nori. Let's just say we have held a meeting with SSLC, and we have produced an outcome, final result of the meeting. While most students agree on the outcome, but there would be a minority of students which would not be satisfied with the outcome, which we understand as every people would have different point of view and different perspective. Therefore, the way that we look at things would be different as well. Thus, I think the key solution to address this question is to communicate with the students who are not satisfied. And me, myself, I would personally try my best to lead them through the situation and tell them what solution we have think of and why do we think that the current solution is the best among all. And we would communicate with them and let them understand that the initiative of the reasons why we take this solution. And other than that, we would also take on their feedbacks because feedbacks are crucial for improving, and the solution might actually be not the best solution, and they might suggest a better solution. Therefore, I will also open up my heart for feedback and we will improve from them. Yep, that's my answer.
Okay. Since you are going for actually a representative position, I would like to ask you what do you think about your future subcom, and then how can you elaborate more about what team are you going to have, and then like what kind of leadership style will both of you have? Like maybe you give an example, or maybe you elaborate some of the position, and then um, the events that you actually have in mind for next year.
Ray, do you want to take this question?
Yeah. So the team that we're going to have, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to have representatives for year 1, year 2, and year 3. So what kind of team that we want to build up is that both of us, me and Queenie, we're both very passionate. We're both very understanding. So the way how we lead is as we get in, our motto is that everyone deserves to be heard. So, and then we will lead them through, we'll try to get the best committee members to work with us, who's passionate and experienced just to lead with us as well. And also, did you ask about activities? Sorry?
Yeah, actually, like what kind of subcoms are you like? How many person are you going to take in? Like how you distribute the job, and then like what event and like what future event you have in mind. You can actually elaborate more about it so that the fellow students like know about all the ideas that you guys have for 2021.
All right. In my point of view, in the subcommittee team of me and Nori would be divided to, let me say, two different type of subcommittee. As the first one, as Nori mentioned just now, all the representative from year one, year two, year three representative, and the major reps. Other than that would be our, let me say, operational team, which consists of editors and planners and some students who are passionate to serve just like us. And this team of us would help to some of us would be responsible for making posters, overseeing the events. Some of us might be just behind the stage planning for the events. And after that, I think we would strive for a very diverse team. As our motto says, everyone deserves to be heard. And I believe that more opinions would lead to better results. And upon that, activities that we have in mind, as I said on our fourth manifesto, the current gap between year one, SEM 1 students are very distant. Thus, we have some post-orientation activities such as treasure hunt and team building. The aim for these activities is that we would help the students to make new friends at their first few weeks of the university, and after that, we would have mingle night at week 2 or week 3 to allow them to mingle with students from other schools and facilities, so that they would not only know friends from School of Business. That's all from me.
Okay, so moving on, I still have some questions. Like, um, let's say, as a student leader, carrying on this significant role, there will be like definitely be conflict and criticism from various people, like even from your team as well, from the subcommittee, from your future subcoms around you. Like, how would you handle with like both of these situations?
Like what we said just now, if there is any disagreements, and what we do is we will definitely listen them out. We want to hear their thoughts and understand in their perspective what's wrong, what's the matter, and listen them out, try to understand their point of view, and try to come into agreement together. What about you, Queenie?
Apart from that, if let's just say that there are two parties with very different opinions, let's say party one wants to do with option A, party two wants to do with option B. In my point of view, I would ask the students of School of Business to help us out. We would create a poll for students to vote for the solution that they want. And I think it will be a better solution to take in public opinions as well. Yep, that's all for me.
I think I'm having like okay, one last question. What would SOB really do and be for the students? Will there be any changes that you want to bring forward to like 2021?
So at the moment, the only change is that I think the biggest issue right now that's going on within SOB reps and in other schools as well is that the students are feeling lost. The COVID-19 and the pandemic really brought a sense of, people are just like missing. So honestly, there's nothing new that we want to pick up. Our aim is to bring improvement to make sure that we pick up what was left and ensure that students feel safe, they feel like they know what's going on in Monash University and knows that MUSA and that we are here for them. What about you, Funi?
Yeah, I think Nori quite covered what I said. As we mentioned in our manifesto, the current year one, semester one, let's not just say year one, semester one. Actually, most of the students are quite lost. As me personally, I am quite lost when I first came to Monash University because I was needed to face e-learning, and it was quite a terrifying experience. But with the help of my friend, I would hope that as me as SOB rep, I would be the friends of many people. Like they would come and approach me if they has any issues or concern, or they can just come and ask me for a talk or a simple talk so that I could be there and support them emotionally and mentally. And other than that, I think Nori covered pretty much what I want to convey as well. So yeah.
Okay, thanks, guys. I think I'll just ask more manifesto-related questions. First of all, when you're talking about joining clubs, encouraging students to join clubs at Monash, do you have any in mind that could help the students with the soft skills? Which ones in particular are you planning to promote to students?
So you're asking me how are we going to promote soft skills?
Yeah, I think you mentioned that you want to promote like on a presentation slide more about like the clubs at Monash and get students to join. Do you have any of them in particular that you want to promote to students, or where exactly you're getting the events from to help enhance the students' soft skills?
Okay, so in soft skill, as I mentioned just now, that we're going to do it during orientation week, assuming if Monash is going to be open next year, like physically, and students can enter. So our orientation, we're going to educate students on the importance of soft skills, and we're going to bring up like quotes from like previous Monash alumni that explains about the experience, how was it like to join in the club in Monash University, and how it has enhanced them and helped them to get jobs, great new friends. So we're also going to provide like a presentation slide to show them that. And we're also going to heavily promote it on our social media page as well. And also we're going to get mini pamphlets with also like steps on like what we should do if you don't have make friends, who to contact, what kind of clubs will suit you. And we would also, and the reason why we want to do it during orientation week, because we know every students usually would come for orientation week. And that is when we can usually grab their attention. So that's what we're just trying to do right now for next year, if Monash University opens for students.
Yeah. Can I add something, Nori? I think the two clubs that we have on mind to promote next year during orientation to promote soft skill would, the first one be Monash Business Club, and the second one which be Monash Entrepreneur Club, which I think these two clubs are very great platform which allows students to go further and get to just grasp what they dream of. Like some students might want to be an entrepreneur, but they are very afraid of, they don't know what entrepreneur are like. They need some guidance for senior. And I think these clubs provide very great help to the students to expose them on this field, which honestly in classroom we are not able to be accessed. So yeah, that's my suggestion.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Queenie. Thanks, Nori. So one more thing for me. Let's assume that we don't go back to campus fully by the time the next academic year rolls around. How do you intend to connect these newer students, the year one students, the students who didn't have an orientation per se? How would you suggest connecting them online so that they can get to know each other and basically meet people in the same cohort?
All right.
Yeah.
Nori, you want to go
Okay,
first?
you can go first.
All right.
It's your-
So me and Nori have agreed on that lecturers and tutorial classes are actually a very direct platform which allows students to connect. Therefore, me and Nori have came up with an idea of making posters and asking help from lecturers to post the posters on the first week of tutorial during the ice breaking, which says like, hey, this is your students, your school of business representative, and they are there to help you guys, and you guys can follow MUSA Instagram or School of Business Instagram, and you guys would get updates from events from there. And other than that, I think through the word of mouth is very important as well. And therefore, me and Nori, if we get nominated, we would be try to spread the news among our friends and ask them to help us to spread the news as well, to get more friends, more students to connect to us and let them expose to MUSA and the new activities. Nori, you have anything else?
Yeah, basically that's what you covered as well. I wanted to say, and also our main platform, if there's no orientation and we can't go physically, then everything will be pushed online. Our main will be on Instagram, Facebook, emails, and we'll host a virtual orientation as well. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all from Nelson and I for now. Yep.
All right,
Nelson, anything?
okay. Nelson, are you?
Sorry, Tristan.
No, no, it's
No,
okay. It's okay.
Actually,
Everything
I have many more questions to ask because I think I asked most of the question already.
Okay.
All right then. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. That was actually very, very interesting content there. So on that note, we'll be heading into the open Q&A session. So we have quite a few questions here from the YouTube comment. I'll start reading them now. So, question from Adrian: can you elaborate more on your manifesto of eliminating biasness and discrimination? Could you provide an example of this occurring in SOB?
Yeah. So this was actually last year. It was during when classes wasn't online, and a lot of students actually. It's not only happened between international students as well, like us as well, local students as well. Where, for example, there was this class, a tutor where it was like all Chinese, and most of the students was like from China, and like there were a few of us who are like not from China and can't speak really like Mandarin really well. At this lecture, this tutor, he was only speaking Mandarin, and he was favored. It was all about those Chinese students, and we tried to bring it up, but we just didn't know how to bring it up. And yeah, that's what happened actually in within the School of Business. Yeah, that's what happened. I just want to make sure that it doesn't happen ever again. And then when I found out that other students are experiencing the same thing as well, not just from this tutor but from other tutor as well, and it really negatively impacted their results, and they actually failed, and they had to retake the unit last sem. So yeah, that's what happened.
Yep. Can I add on to that, Nori? Yes, so to elaborate on our manifesto of limiting biasness and discrimination, on our point of view, we just want to, we know that it is impossible to eliminate this biasness and discrimination 100%, but me and Nori, we would try our best to do it and bring it down to the lowest, because it is just sad to look at, to know that my friends are enduring this, and it is just not fair, because we as students, we are all equal no matter of our nationality or races or skin color, and I'm just not a big fan of being biasness or discrimination. So me and Nori have chosen to become SOB rep so that we would know the right channel and the right way to solve this problem. Yep, that's all.
Okay, thank you guys. We'll be moving on to the next question now from Nazil Amirul. If next year is still online learning, how do you encourage more people to join clubs?
So again, do you want to say it, Queenie? Okay. So as mentioned with Queenie just now, we're going to work together with the tutors and lecturers, hoping that they will spread out the word that there is MUSA and this is your SOB rep, me and Queenie Instagram page, and we're going to promote all of this online, like on our Instagram page with the help of MUSA as well, Instagram and Facebook. So hopefully with the help of the teachers, they can spread the word for us, and that students will know our Instagram, our SOB page, and MUSA as well. So that's how we're planning to encourage students to join more clubs, and we'll post on like the benefits of joining clubs, spread awareness, educate them, and yeah, that's how we're going to do it. Queenie, do you have anything else to add?
Yep, sure. Other than that, we would collaborate with other MUSA departments such as MUSA's Club and Society department, as well as the clubs that I mentioned just now, Monash Business Club and Monash Entrepreneur Club, as we know that actually Monash Cup is one of the biggest events that is most anticipated by students in Monash, but due to COVID-19, everyone would think that Monash Cup would be eliminated, it would just be scratched off the board, but no, actually, Clubs and Society has managed to bring Monash Cup up online. So it really shows that nothing is impossible. And if it's still online learning, we would just be doing whatever is being done here. We would still have e-orientation, we would still have see Clubs and Society Week online, and we would just promote it online as there's no better way to do it. And we would just make collaboration with clubs and societies and to organize great online events for the students to join. Yep, so that's it.
Okay, all right. Thanks, guys. So follow-up from Matil as well. Joining more clubs may distract students from learning. Any suggestions for us to overcome this problem? Because we want to learn soft skills.
As mentioned just now as well, we will educate the students. We will also provide like a one-to-one mentor if you need advice in how to balance your life also with you balance your studies together with joining clubs. We will help you. We will help you out. We will be there. And we're also going to post on social media on how you can balance your life. We're going to spread awareness and make sure that that you will get the word out that actually joining clubs is not a distraction. I myself currently in the MEC club, public relation, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I really feel that I want other students to feel the way how I feel. So yeah, we're going to spread awareness, post on social media, and educate all of you guys, and provide one-to-one mentor if you need help in balancing your studies and club. Anyone else, Queenie?
I think since they asked for suggestion, I think one of the most, let me say, constructive advice that I would give would be plan your time wisely. As you know, clubs and society you are out of interest, and studies are why we are here in Monash. And if you want to join clubs and society, I'm sure that clubs and society won't help the activities when it's near our final assessment, when it's near our exam. Therefore, it actually really depends on you. It depends on your on how you think, on how you organize your time. And as I said, time organizing and planning ahead is very crucial to overcome this problem. And I think that me and Nori have answered this question very well. So don't hesitate to ask us any question if we did not answer you properly.
All right, so moving on to the next question from Adrian. What are your plans to increase student engagement for your planned activities, assuming that everything's online and not in person?
Nori, you want to do this? Yeah. The plan of increasing student engagement for planned activities online, as we would know that students actually would like to engage on activities that they have bigger interest on, such as the Monash Cup, online Monash Cup this year is actually having a great participant, and the engagement is very wonderful. And I can say that our plan is to organize events that is of students' interest and beneficial to them, which we would take their feedbacks on, and we would take on ideas and opinions on what events that the students might be interested on and what they might want us to prepare. And yeah, I think to increase student engagement, the activity itself is the core, and we need to grasp the interest of the students to increase the engagement. And of course, we ourselves would try to be in the events and activities and try to increase engagement and bring up the atmosphere as well. Nori, you want to add anything?
Yeah, just as mentioned, like we will create events, but what event is based on what you like. So we will like what I mentioned Squeenie just now at his manifestos, that we will have Instagram stories, we have like polls asking you guys what events do you guys want, how can we increase student engagement. We will ask you what you want and we will deliver it for you. So that is our plan on how what kind of activities is based on what you guys want. So yeah.
All right, thank you for the responses. Again, from Nazil, what positions will you create / suggest to introverts to join your team? As I know, many introverts are shy and some cannot perform well in the interview, even if they are talented.
Right. So can I answer this? The position that I would create, which is already mentioned, would be the editors or the backstage helpers or the planners, as we know that introverts like to work in their own comfort zone. They don't like to go out and interact with people, but it's all fine. Like we need both of them. We need extroverts and introverts in the team. So for introverts, it would be as editors or planners, which would work behind the team, and they would be the one planning and just planning the events and being the logistics and editors. And if you're concerned that is that the introverts may not perform very well in the interview and we would might not intake them into our team because they don't perform very well in the interview, but we would assure you that we will not. So we would give introverts sufficient chance and we would understand, and if they are really suitable, then why not we would not let them into the team. Nori, you want to add anything?
No, I personally work with people who are introverts, and yes, the interview when I interviewed them, it wasn't that great. But as long as you're passionate and you show that you're really willing to learn, and that's all it matters. And yeah, we will hire you for sure. That's all for me.
So our next question is from Rahul G. If I am not wrong, there was no edit last year and multiple SOB reps this year. I don't know why. What is the challenge with this position and what do you think you can do about it?
Nori, do you want to take this?
Oh, that is a very good question.
It's all right then.
Um, Last year, actually, I have no idea why there were no candidates, to be honest, and why there's so many multiple SOB rep this year. Uh, it is not my place to say as well. But what is the challenge with the position, and what can you do about it? Mm, Queenie, do you have
Nori,
anything at this
yeah,
one?
I think, yeah, sure. I think one of the biggest challenge with this position, as we might know, is that School of Business is actually the biggest school of seven school in Monash, and it can be imagined how heavy is the workload on the reps and the position. And I think one of the biggest challenge would be the heavy workload on this position, as we would need to deal with a lot of minor and major things on the school, and we have meetings. But I think the way to overcome it, as I mentioned, is to always plan ahead and organize our time wisely, as me and Nori are working in a team and we are not alone. So therefore, me and Nori will always try to plan ahead and allocate sufficient time for both of us to uh, execute plans and events, as not as me and Nori would not have the same timetable, and it would definitely be one of us to be free, which is who are capable to solve the problem. And I think the challenge is this. I'm done with it.
Is it me or Tristan?
It's me. Sorry. The promotion had done me
Oh,
Sam, but I still think there are many SOB students do not concern about MUSA club. How do you address this problem?
Nori, do you have your opinion on this?
Promotion as if in promoting clubs. What does it mean by promotion done by many SAMs?
Well, I think I would, Nazio, I think your question would be promotion about MUSA and other clubs have been done throughout the semester, but you still think that many students do not concern, or as I have mentioned, many students do not even notice the existence of MUSA, which is actually quite terrifying. And how would I address this problem would be, as we said, we would ask help from lecturers and tutorial, as we know that students would never run away from tutorials. They would not check their emails, but they would definitely attend tutorials. Therefore, help from lecturers are very crucial in this problem to address it. And we would seek help from lecturers to post posters on tutorial. And other than that, we will also try to send emails to students on about interesting events and clubs and society as well. And I think I think it would address the problem quite well. That's all from me.
All right, I'm going to be jumping in now because unfortunately Tristan is having a whole lot of technical difficulties. So I'm just gonna, you can just pretend I'm Tristan, I guess, as we continue through this. So there's another question from the YouTube comments here from Rianti. There are possibilities lectures might not help to promote MUSA School of Business through the Moodle platform. So how would you develop relationships between MUSA School of Business and lecturers so lecturers may actively help you? Any thoughts on this?
So then again,
Do
do you want to?
you go first? Now
Yeah. So as mentioned, we would deal with the SSLC and bring up about this issue, and we'll first listen out to the lectures and understand that if you don't want to post it on our through Moodle platform, then during the Zoom meeting session, the first week of orientation, that's when we would ask their help, like at the end of the Zoom session, to promote us and to tell us that we are here and there's MUSA, there's SOB rep, and yeah, we will come to an agreement and try our best to deal with the lectures and tutors. What about you, Queenie?
I think a crucial step to develop relationship with, let's not just lecturer, with anyone, is through communication. And me personally, I would approach lecturers, like if on-campus activities was allowed, I would approach lecturers face to face, and I would introduce me and Nori to them on the very first week of unit of the semester, and we would talk to the lecturers face to face on what's the reason behind this, why would us want to seek help from lecturers, and we would just communicate very well with them and hope that they will understand our perspective. And I'm sure that with sufficient communication, the lecturers would be more than happy to help us to promote.
Okay, so continuing on. I'm sorry. All right, so next question is from Garen Leong. Understand that School of Business has many majors. There are many students who are unaware on how to select their units or majors. Any solutions you could provide for improving the condition?
All right. So for improving any solution. So for example, we have our Instagram page, right? And also MUSA. So for SOB reps, what we're going to do is, what I would suggest is we're going to do like a share screen and show students on how to select their units and the major, and we'll post the video on Instagram and also on Facebook. And we will also then again ask the lecturers to deal with the students and tell them if you need any help, please do come and look at our Instagram, and we will do whatever it takes to help them out, provide one-to-one mentor mentee, and if they need any help, we'll always be there for them. Anything else you want to add, Queenie?
Yeah, sure. Apart from what Nori suggested, I think another crucial program that could be used for addressing this situation is through the mentor and mentee program as well as the buddies program. As we said, mentor and mentee program would be volunteered by senior students, which the senior students would provide help and support to the freshies. And I believe that the seniors would be aware on how to select the unis or major. And let's just say that the mentor and mentee program is not really that effective. I think that one of the solution is to come to us as OB representative, or other than that, I think any lecturers in Monash or any counselors in Monash would be more than happy to help you on this situation, as they understand the units more than us. To be very honest, they understand more, and I'm sure that they will provide their best help to address this issue. Yep, that's all from me.
Right. Sorry there, Harish, you're muted at the moment.
Oh dear, so sorry about that. Apologies for technical difficulties. Okay, try that again. Can you elaborate more who will be the mentors and how you're going to have an efficient one-to-one session with the problem of time constraints?
As I mentioned just now, we would the mentor and mentee program has already being implementing and running. For who would be the mentors, as I mentioned just now, the mentors would be volunteer seniors from different majors, from School of Business, who wants to help out the freshies, and they would be the one who are the mentors. And how are we gonna have an efficient one-to-one session? At first, we would do something like Mingle Night, which allows them to choose or to find out the mentor that they like, and they will approach the mentors, and they would have something, have introduction and self-intro like that to get to know each other. And after that, we would encourage the mentor and mentee to keep contact, be it on Instagram, be it on WhatsApp, so that if the mentee have any questions or concerns, and he can just contact the mentor directly, and this would be the solution for this. With the problem of time constraint, as I have said, it would be direct contact from the mentor and mentee, while we representative as the middle person of them. So I don't think time constraint would be a problem. So yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Okay. Okay, moving on. Another question from Nazil Amirul. Would you consider to open a platform for School of Business students to submit our concerns anonymously? So if Zuntuan or Nori wants to take that.
Yeah,
Hi.
Nori, you want to talk about?
Yeah, as mentioned before, we will open a platform for SOB students to submit any concerns you want anonymously. And as well, we are also going to look closely, Monash confession page. We're also going to monitor it and also use that as a platform to reach out to students and understand their concerns as well. But yes, we will provide a platform for you guys on Instagram as well, and also on Google Form as well. Yeah. Queenie, do you have anything else you want to add?
No.
Or-
Covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, your
Sukuk has asked a question. How would you? Sorry about that. How would you deal with internal conflict inside the School of Business team, especially if your team feel that you're not doing a good job or have a disagreement with you?
All right, I'll take the question. As me and Nori have been emphasizing throughout this speech, so the keyword for this would be communication, as we are certain that conflicts and different perspective and points of view would be present, and we are sure that stuff like this would happen. But me and Nori would keep our hearts open, and we would always be ready to communicate with our team, especially when it's an internal conflict. I'm sure that me and Nori would sit down with the team face to face, preferably, and we would just communicate and just solve out our problem and find ways to overcome the problem. And if the team feels like me or Nori are not doing a good job, uh, I would say that we are we will have our hearts open for feedbacks on how to improve. As me and Nori are also first time doing running for SOB representative, and me and Nori are still learning. We have no experience or whatsoever, so it might be unavoidable to not be doing a good job. But me and Nori would always try our best to do our best. So yeah, Nori, you have anything to add?
No, so if there is internal conflict, I think so what we'll both do is that we'll sit down with them individually and ask them their perspective, And then in the end, after we already finish speaking to them individually and get their perspective on it, we're going to gather the whole team, sit together and discuss the issue about it together and try to come to conclusion. And as what Queenie said, communication is the key. And we'll try to understand their point of view as well. Yeah, that's all.
All right, so we haven't got a lot of time left, so we're gonna try and get through these questions. So Raul G asks, shouldn't you be informed or research with the troubles with last year and previous years? I assume this is a response to the question just now about SUB, there being a lot of SUB reps. So yeah, this is a good.
Yes, there is. We are actually informed about this year's issue. We do know what happened, but then again, it's not our part to say what happened. So we're not going to say we do know what's going on, of course, but it's just best for us, the SOB rep, to keep it within our committee as well. So yes.
Anything else to add? No. Okay.
No,
So
no, we've covered everything.
okay, moving on to the next question. Again from Raul. What should a student do if they feel the final result for a unit they get is not fair or something's wrong at the end of the semester? What if students are right in this case?
Right, I'll take this. So if any students feel that the final results are not what they should get, one of the ways to do this is through appeal for sure. The students may lodge an appeal and ask for their for their final result to be once examined. And if let's just say that we do not know the students or are right or wrong because we ourselves would not have a glance on the paper, and it would be a very troubling situation. But I would advise the student to have actually appeal to the management for another examination of the result. Or yeah, that's my suggestion. Nora, you want to add anything?
No, that's why you can get an appeal. And if you are unsatisfied with your results at the end of the day, please reach out to us, talk to us, DM us, and tell us your point of view, and we try our best to fix it again. But again, that's what he said. We don't know the paper. We are not, we don't know what actually is the unit that you're taking, and we might not understand it. But we'll try our best to help you out, and do reach us out personally if it ever happens. If you feel like your final results are unfair. So yeah. So
Okay, so moving on to the next question from Raul again. Also, there are some not very good lecturers in School of Business that makes me feel like my money paying 4K a semester is wasted. What can students do if there is
Not lagging, right?
Okay, it seems that the Harish has cut out, but you guys can see the question on your screen. So
Yeah.
who wants to
Yeah.
take it over from here?
I think I'll take it over. Yeah, sure.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Oh my god.
Raul, to address to your question, let's just say that there is some not very good lecturers, but I do not understand your definition of not very good. As I would say this is that some lecturers, their teaching methods are not applicable for everyone. As I said, everyone is different, everyone has different point of view. So not every lecture style would be suitable for you. But anyway, what you can do is that you could definitely approach to us as SOP rep, or you could approach to your SOP major representative. And after that, we would gather evidence or Before that, we surely would sit down and talk to you face to face and understand the situation thoroughly. And we would ask for your feedbacks and opinions on how to improve the lecturer's teaching style, or what do you expect from the lecturers. And after that, after collecting your inputs, we would find the lecturers and we would communicate with him or her face to face preferably, and we would tell her about the situation that you are facing, where your identity and names will be kept confidential. And we would try our best to communicate with the lecturers and really make things out and make the lecture style the way that is more suitable for the public. After that, if you are still not satisfied with the result, we could lodge report to SSLC and bring this up in the meeting, and we would discuss further with SSLC with sufficient evidence on hand. And yeah, we would get a better, or we would think another better way of solving the problem. Nori, you have anything to add?
No, I think that's it. And also like what Kuni said, different lectures have different styles. So sometimes their style might not be great on you, but it's great on other students. But if you feel like this lecture is really not good and other students also complain, we will give you a Google Sheet form and fill up the feedback. And if like more than 50% of the students in that lecture feel the same way, then we will bring up to SSLC and take it seriously and go it from there. So yeah. That's all.
Okay. All right. So we're reaching the end of this session. We've been extending it a little bit because we've been getting a lot of good questions. So we're just going to answer the last question here. I mean, not we. You guys are, not me. So it's from Raul G. I have heard that reason already, but the lecturer is still around. Been a long problem in the finance units. How do you guys respond to that?
All right, Nori, all right, I'll respond to Raul first. All right. As me personally, as I'm still new and I'm just running for the representative, I am not aware of this situation. But if this prolongs, I'm sure that you can contact us after this, or you can contact the current SOB reps, which is Nelson and Renee, and I'm sure that they are more than happy to help you out with this solution. And yeah, I think being a long problem in finance unit might be miscommunication, might be something that you guys, the communication is not that smooth or whatsoever. And I think that you should really reach out to us, to the current SOP reps, Nelson and Renee, and solve the problem with them. Nori, you have any inputs?
No, just like what you said, we're running for next year's SOB. But at the moment, what you can do is reach out to Nelson and Rainy. You can DM them on Instagram or check out on MUSA to get their information, and you can contact them personally and directly. So yeah.
All right, perfect, guys. Right on the dot. Okay, we can't take in any more questions. Thank you for sending in your questions, everyone. This is actually the most amount of questions we got so far, and it's really, really good interaction. So good job, guys. So Renee has just said, like, if you guys have any questions, just DM the MUSA Faculty of Business page, and one of the reps will work with you. But now we'll just be moving on into the closing statement of quite a long live stream here. So guys, just feel free to start whenever you're ready.
Okay. So first of all, we are both beyond grateful to have this opportunity to deliver this speech to our fellow peers as SOB representative candidates here tonight. And we know that action speaks louder than words. Therefore, we will put our biggest efforts and always go that extra mile to ensure smooth communication with students to improve their learning experience. And we promise to serve students with all of our hearts and capabilities to make sure 2021 will be your unforgettable year of Monash University life.
Yes, Nori. We assure you that we will take on any challenges faced and do our best for the benefit of the students. We also urge you to always communicate with the associate party or individuals for any concern or trouble you might be facing at the moment, such as Rao is facing. Thank you once again for your time, and please feel free to DM us on Instagram if you still have any question regarding our speech. We will be more than happy to answer your questions and doubt. Please vote for us. Thank you for your kind attention and have a good night.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. So with that, we're going to end today's long stream of debates. Tomorrow we'll be having our MUIS debate starting with activities, and you guys can see the schedule on the MUSA official page and everything. So thank you for attending today's sessions, and have a good night, everyone. Thank you to Nori, and thank you to Zhen Xuan, and of course the office bearers for coming on and dedicating your time. So again, thank you very much, guys. It's been a good 1 hour with you guys. All right. Thank you.